freezing. Maybe internet. Oh, is it me? Let me check.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes. So,
okay,
sure. Let's have 5 minutes buffer. So if you need to adjust any settings, internet, make sure you have a cup of tea or water by you, and go to the bathroom if you need, because it might be about 1 hour to 1 hour and 30 minutes without intermission. So can everyone hear me okay? Because I see frozen screens everywhere.
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Okay, good. Thank you, Samantha. Great. Yep. Now it's a good time to check the setting, power core plug-in, and everything's ready. And our technical team will be here to support. If you need anything, you can private chat Joanna or Brian. But I'm pretty sure our youth contestants are more of an expert of using Zoom than some of us, so I'm not that worried. Some of our judges are videos are frozen. I don't know. Just let me know if anything I need to stop or to get my attention, because yeah. How's everyone? Thumbs up? Good. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, together. Okay. I realized I should have played some music. Okay, I think everyone's ready. Okay, good. So again, welcome everyone. It's a special Saturday because we're all here on the Zoom land meeting with each other, particularly for a good cause and a great education opportunity to spread the important message of cancer prevention and education. So again, my name is Jessica. If you need anything, technical support, direct to Brian or Joanna. And without further ado, I'm gonna introduce our chair for American Cancer Society Youth Multimedia Contest, Dr. Ying Liu.
Hi, everyone. Yeah.
And she's gonna say a few words and also introduce our judges.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is Ying, and it's my honor. First of all, I work at UC Davis, so not far from most of you. And I work in pathology department, and it's my pleasure to work with our fantastic judges and also with our youth volunteer and the great MC, and Edward, Ling, and Joanna. Without everybody's help, we couldn't have this meeting. I guess later on, Ling will give us some introduction about the history of our multimedia context. And so my first mission is to introduce our honorable judges. So I really appreciate they took their time to pre-screen all the team work, and they make their comments, and then they will be the main one to ask you questions. So be prepared. And so first of all, I want to introduce Dr. Ali Risha. So Dr. Risha, can you give some brief introduction for yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for having me today. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you today. My name is Ali, and I'm an oncologist, hematologist, working currently at El Camino Cancer Center in Mountain View and Los Gatos campus. And I also a blood banker, and I run the blood bank for a small blood center in Northern California. I was working in Humboldt a few years ago, and it's like all the way up north of the state, and I was very involved with the American Cancer Society. They were helping a lot of my patients who needs resources and help because the area there is very underserved. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Risha. And we also have Dr. K. Dr. K can kindly give me the permission to using the short form. And I will leave it to Dr. Gay to introduce himself.
Hi, just if you want to know my full name, it is Kalpana Chakraborty, but I don't want you to lose all your teeth. So you can call me Dr. K, or K is just fine. I'm a molecular biologist, biochemist by training, and as a former faculty member at the Medical College of Wisconsin, where I taught medical students and PhD students for many years. And subsequently, this was in Medical College of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I then moved to Southern California in the year 2000 to join a biopharma company. And I'm located in Southern California, Los Angeles, not too far from where my good friends Ling Wu and Edward Wu lives. And my introduction to this, actually to the American Cancer Society and to the Chinese community working for the society is through Ling and Edward. So I'm very thankful to them have this opportunity to serve the community. And I have worked with Ling and Edward for American Cancer Society for almost now 20 years, volunteering. And it's my pleasure to be with you all, young and bright students with great future. I am retired now, so I have little time and luxury to indulge in all other kinds of activity. So feel free to ask any question if you have, and just call me Kay. Then I'm happy with that.
Thank you, Dr. K. And I also would like to introduce our third judge, Christy Cole from American Cancer Society.
Hi, I'm Christy Cole. I'm a community development manager with the American Cancer Society. I've been with them for over 4 years now, and I support the communities in the Bay Area and several fundraising events for the American Cancer Society. And thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you, Christy. And here, I also want to introduce our fourth judge, who unfortunately cannot make it for this afternoon's event. But it's Dr. Yu, Dr. Phoebe Yu. She is a vice president of the Discovery Biology Department from Exelixis company, and she has a good, also a good background of pharmaceutical research, FDA drug approval, clinical trial stuff. So I saw she has comments. She has a lot of comments and questions for our team. So at the same time, at the end of your presentation, I will bring her questions to you. Okay. Thank you. I think now it's a good time for me to give back the mic to our MC, Jessica.
Hi, thank you so much, all the judges and Dr. Liu. And without these two special important figures, it wouldn't be possible. So next, I would like to invite Ling and Edward to say a few words and to let you guys know how this event come to be and the little history about California Chinese unit under American Cancer Society.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everybody. Basically, I volunteer for American Cancer Society since year 2000, first in my community of Agoura Hills. And then in 2010, we decided to start Chinese Relay for Life because we realized there's no Chinese volunteer in our community. So been doing relay for 11 years. And during the event, we always want to include the youth volunteers to help them with cancer education, early detection, good living, good living skills. You know, don't do the wrong thing to your body, and also ask them to help their parents, their grandparents in cancer knowledge, just to bridge the gap of a culture gap and language gap. So we developed this multimedia contest probably 6 years ago as part of the relay. We found out this is a really great tool to help the youth and help everyone, because we feel if you want to teach children and just stuff them with knowledge is not good enough. If you ask them to do a project, they will do the research and the knowledge will be theirs, and they can also spread the word. So we started about 5, 6 years ago in Southern California. And 3 years ago, I was asked to be the chair of California Chinese unit. So I'm the volunteer chair of that unit. So I feel I should also benefit Northern California with meaningful activity. So I brought this event to Northern California. So because I don't live here, so we had a humble start. But the second year I was introduced to Joanna Young and her youth team, who's very capable in technology. So we had a great event in Northern California last year. So this is the 3rd year in Northern California. This year, because of COVID, we actually planned an event in El Camino Hospital. So we're very lucky that American Cancer Society staff help us engaging El Camino Hospital. And we were looking forward to have the event in El Camino Hospital. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we had to pivot into online event. So in June, we actually started a family youth multimedia contest, because we thought the families are together, but the youth cannot get together as team. But that was very successful. But we learned that youth can also gather online as team. So we decided to go ahead with this event that we planned much early on, to happen in Northern California. So today is the real event, but not in El Camino Hospital, but online. But I really very thankful that a doctor from El Camino Hospital can go online and be one of the judges. So because of all these collaboration between the adults and volunteers, so now we came up with the idea of youth ambassador program. We would like to engage youth more, not just during a contest, maybe more consistently over the year. So also we thought with all this knowledge, we should teach kids about vaping, a very good opportunity. So we are actually planning an activity, a conference, youth conference on childhood cancer and vaping for September 26th. And we are also going to start a youth ambassador program. We're going to start have meetings and try to include youth. I feel, although COVID is a very terrible thing, but we can get something good out of it. And I hope what we do will benefit not only the youth and also, definitely the community. So I really am very thankful for all the support from adults and youth. All your contributions are very important. And I'm really thankful, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ling. Edward, would you like to say a few words, or you want to save it at the end?
Well, thank you for the committee and the participants and the judges. We started this poster contest, and now we give a more formal name. It's multimedia contest, including poster and the video, and also performing arts. And we get a overwhelming response the last 2 years. And I can see, especially the youth group, now they're taking lead. I'm very pleased. We have been working on with American Cancer Society for more than 10 years, and we always need good volunteers to carry on our activity. And the most important thing is we get youth to get involved, and also now they can lead those programs. So I'm very pleased. I think that's one of the big success we have so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edward. So again, I think just want to reiterate how powerful this initiative can be and how special each every one of you by coming here and starting and joining us with this mission, right? Because today might be only 6 teams, but with you guys coming here and in the future spreading the word and also being potentially our ambassadors, even though when you go on to college and maybe later join the workforce in your career, you can still carry on this important mission. Most likely, and importantly, it's prevention and education, and that's how we can end the battles, right? And so similarly, we can relate to how we're going on kind of fighting with the pandemic, but at the same time, it's just to learn how to cope with change and how to be empowered by changing environment, changing factors. And I think youth are the future, and not even the future, is the current, right? So we really rely on the power of youth and the technical savviness, and also like your innovation, your creativity, your teamwork to move this movement forward, because the fight against cancer is not stopping because of pandemic, not because of the Cal Fire, right? So we're really glad and happy to be here joining through the online system. And so it does really a good testament of as long as we are creative, anything is possible. So now let's go on to introduce our first team. All the contestants ready? Okay, so we just go by the order we have. And so first group, it's Girl Scout 62640. You gotta give us an introduction and explain a little bit how you chose that name. It's your time. And our technical support will also do the video sharing once it's ready, so you can give us the cue. But first, you can go ahead and introduce your team. Thank you.
Would you like me to play the intro video first, or do you guys want to introduce Mike on Zoom?
I could introduce our team first. Yeah. Cool. And then could we also play the introduction video?
Yeah, of course, after you guys are done.
So first I'll just give you a little overview. So we're Girl Scout Troop 62640. We are a Girl Scout troop, so that's why our name is called that. We decided to do this topic because, as you know, vaping is a really controversial topic right now. There's some people saying that vaping is not harmful to your health, and there's some people saying, oh, vaping's harmful. So we wanted to investigate that and provide solid evidence and reasons on why vaping is harmful to your health. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Hello, we are Girl Scout Troop 62640. My name is Samantha Wu. I'm a rising freshman at Valley Christian, and I led the research portion of this project.
Hello everyone, I'm Doris. This year I'm going to be an 8th grader at the Jackson Academy of Math and Music in Morgan Hill. For this project, I looked into a lot of statistics about vaping in teens and other people in the US, and it was really helpful in giving a sense of purpose to the project since vaping was affecting so many people and they needed to know how it might affect their health.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Wu. I go to Valley Christian and I'm about to enter 7th grade. My role in the making of this video is to design the visual effects and animation.
Hi everyone, I am Emma and I'm going to be an 8th grader at Valley Christian School in San Jose this year. In this project, I researched about vaping and how it will affect teenagers, and it was very fun making this video with my friends. I hope you will enjoy it.
My group and I are here to spread awareness about the controversial topic of vaping.
So many people, especially teens, vape just to be cool, and they don't even know the real dangers of vaping.
They've been brainwashed by the e-cigarette companies.
So, we wanted to make a change about that by making a video that can hopefully shift people's view of vaping.
Through making this video, we not only gain scientific knowledge, but also something else really important. That is, when people tell you something that you find questionable, definitely do your own research to see if that's true or not, because what you may find may really surprise you. After months of research, script writing, and video production, we've come up with this video. However, due to the limited time restraint, we had to omit a lot of our research details. Luckily, we're coming out with a more in-depth video after this contest.
We had so much fun researching and putting the video together. We're really excited to show it to you guys, and we really hope you enjoy it.
With all that said, enjoy the video!
So I just wanted to say, this topic was like really important because part of the main things about what a Girl Scout troop is aiming for is to positively impact the community. So since vaping is such a controversial topic right now, we just wanted to shed some light on that as a Girl Scout team. So.
Recently, there has been an increasing number of cases of what medical scientists call e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injury, or EVALI. Just from March 2019 to February 2020, there have been 2,807 documented cases of EVALI. Over 60 people have died. Let's try to understand why EVALI is becoming a growing problem.
There have been over 7,000 different e-cigarette flavors by 2017, and many of these flavoring ingredients are not even listed. Since your lung absorbs 90% of the chemicals you inhale from vapes, let's investigate some popular substances used in these supposedly safe e-liquids.
Vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol are the base solvents of all vape juice, consisting of 90% of all e-liquid ingredients. Although they're safe for ingestion, they are not safe when inhaled.
Glycerols themselves can cause lung inflammation. Even worse, when the vaping voltage is increased, it converts into a very dangerous chemical, formaldehyde, a well-known carcinogen, meaning it wields cancer-causing properties.
And guess what? Formaldehyde is actually the chemical you use to preserve dead bodies.
There is also concern about inhaling metals with e-cigarette usage. In a vape, there is a heating coil that turns the juice into vapor, and that coil leaches metal into the juice. Researchers found a large amount of heavy metals in the leftover juice of vaping tips. Those metals can cause lung damage, like giant cell pneumonia and even cancer. Although some people think that metal poisoning is only significant at a much higher heat, such as in THC marijuana vaping, Even low-dose exposure to metal over years may still cause lung damage and cancer.
A study by the University of Johns Hopkins showed that aerosols contained heavy metal concentrations higher than safety limits according to the Environmental Protection Agency. That means it's not only the person who vapes, but the people around the vapor who will be poisoned by the metals.
Now that we've covered a few of the dangerous chemicals in vape juice, let's talk about nicotine. Nicotine is a substance that is as addictive as heroin. It is toxic for a teenager's developing brain and affects teens' brain cell activities involved in attention, learning, memory, and more. It often produces anxiety, irritability, and impulsivity.
Yeah, your grades would be pretty screwed.
Even worse, studies showed that nicotine addiction in early years can increase the risk of getting addicted to other substances.
Moreover, new research has come out with a surprising new finding: nicotine's cancer-causing properties.
Although scientists are unable to ethically test the effects of pure nicotine on a human, a vast number of in vitro as well as animal studies have shown that nicotine can make cancer cells override DNA damage checkpoint activation, enhance metastasis by promoting angiogenesis in a tumor, and compromise T cell functions. Moreover, research also shows that nicotine significantly decreased the effectiveness of cancer treatments, such as radiotherapy and chemotherapy against certain types of lung cancer cells.
Interestingly, many studies have also concluded that vaping can hurt your teeth as well. It exposes your gums to excess bacteria, which can lead to cavities and gum disease. Propylene glycol can cause a dry mouth, inflammation, and even infection in the oral mucosa, all after just 2 or 3 exposures.
Vaping is becoming a fast-growing trend among teenagers, as just from 2017 to 2018, 1.5 million more teenagers started vaping. The most recent FDA regulation, on April 2020, has prioritized eliminating all flavors other than tobacco and menthol in cartridge-based products because teens are attracted to them. In 2019 data, 5 million teens reported vaping. Now that many other flavors are banned, teens will probably turn to menthol flavors and other non-cartridge-based flavored products.
Many of these teens have not been adequately informed about the dangers of vaping. If left unchanged, millions of teenagers and adults will be permanently affected by e-cigarettes. However, there is hope. Although it may be difficult, the only way to stop e-cigarettes from leading to the deaths of thousands of people is through awareness. We must spread the word about e-cigarettes' serious health problems and strive for a change in not only regulations, but in people's knowledge. And you know what the crazy thing is? It starts with you. Will you just shrug it off and continue vaping?
Will you sit back and allow this popularity to grow?
Will you allow people to go uninformed about the proven dangers that vaping presents?
Or will you join us to raise awareness and fight this war against the tobacco industry? It's your choice.
Thank you very much. So I just gotta say the execution and the presentation is really impressive. So let's pass it to Dr. Liu and some of the judges for Q&A. And just a friendly reminder, because of the the engagement of this contest and also the participations of the other teams. You're strongly encouraged to interact with other team contestants and ask questions or make comments, because it's a mutual learning platform, and together we can get better, right? So Dr. Liu.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a great idea if we open the forum to the public. So I totally agree with you. It's a mutual learning experience. And actually, I learned a lot from this presentation in terms of vaping. And there's a lot of scientific data there. And so not for me, myself, I don't have questions per se, but I do have some comments. Like, I think the team really created a very compelling and enthusiastic presentation. And you unfolded your valuable research with a very constructively well-practiced, clear voice all over the whole presentation. And some of the things I noticed that you use very recent data, like FDA 2020 April data for your summary slides. And also you cited with using the like authoritative like citation journal from New England Medicine. So we really appreciate the scientific part of your presentation. And then I think I would encourage the audience to have some questions at the end, and maybe that can be part of your grading. Okay.
Hi, and how about the other judges?
I have a question. What's one thing you guys as a team learned that surprised you or you didn't know before starting the research?
Oh yeah, so personally for me, I'm not sure if you remember from the intro video, but I said that something that we learned was like, if you see something that you find questionable, you definitely do your own research and like look into that source, because sometimes it could just be false information or misunderstood information. Yeah, so I could give an example of that. So for example, like one thing in my research that seemed like a dead end was this commonly repeated statistic that vaping was 95% less harmful than smoking. And this statistic was just stated so much on the internet that it just made you feel that like it has to be true, you know? But after I was able to find the original research paper and I read it, I was so surprised because the actual study actually didn't measure vaping's harms in terms of harmful chemicals or harm to your health, but in terms of things such as like loss of relationship and crime rate and mortality rate. Like, what the heck, you know? Mortality is not even something that you can measure since vaping is such a new practice. So it just really surprised me how such a widely used statistic can be so misunderstood and misused by people. It also made me feel that it was purposely misused to achieve someone's secret agenda, you know, like kind of like politics. Another instance when of this kind of thing was when I heard about the danger of formaldehyde, and they were saying that it was only significant until a much higher heat. And after doing some research, I came across a study that showed that vaping at 5 volts actually produced almost 5 times the amount of formaldehyde from compared to a pack of cigarettes. And what the e-cigarette companies argued was that no one will vape at 5 volts. But obviously that data is not like a jump step function. Formaldehyde is obviously still like an imminent danger at say 4.8 volts, which actually happens to be in the comfort zone of a vapor. So instances like these really encouraged our group to strive to spread the actual truth about this topic. Yeah, that was one thing I learned, yeah.
You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. It's an excellent job. And I might be biased. I was a Boy Scout myself, you know, when I was very, very young. But I learned a lot, to be honest with you. And I did share your presentation with some of my relatives who vapes all the time. So excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think we can open up to any participants.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Jessica, yes. Hi.
Yes.
Yes, I too enjoyed the presentation very much and a very good learning tool. Just few comments. I think some of the voices were not very audible. So when maybe the team can review the video and just make it in even tone. And the other question is that how do you expect to share these and sort of to be an useful tool, not only in your limited community, but these days and age? What's the plan to share and perhaps bring some awareness to the youth that they are harming themselves by vaping and letting the industry get the best of them, you know?
Yeah, so our main goal for this video, thanks for asking, first of all, our main goal for this video is to spread awareness. So not only like, we're obviously gonna put it on YouTube and like post it on social media to spread awareness, but another plan we have is to present it to like the school districts and see if they would like to adopt this video and show it to their students, because so that we could spread awareness to the adolescents, which are which will be a lot affected by vaping. So that's one of our plans. Yeah.
And one suggestion I may have, and which you may have already considered, that through your school system, you know, that could be more effective, that educational, to make it as an educational tool so that it can be shared, not just through YouTube, but to the schools and colleges where the students are most exposed, and give them the impression that even their peers are criticizing or looking into the negative effect of vaping, you know. So
yeah, definitely.
it would be more effective than adults telling that it's bad. Keep up the good work, and really enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. How about any more comments from the judges? Okay. And how about the other teams? Cool. Any comments from Ning?
I mean, you know, since I mentioned we want to do a youth conference in childhood cancer and vaping, this just to me, wow, this is the a very good thing that we may, if you permit us, we may use it in the conference somehow. This is, you know, just what I was thinking, and I think you did such a thorough research. And the two comments you make about, you know, how you find information on internet not correct, I think those are really wonderful, amazing, and you know, totally very important and useful. So we'll talk after this, and we'll see how we can integrate it into the youth conference. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, we'd love that. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Any more comments or anything from your teammate? Cool. So I think you guys took a really important first step, and I know behind this short videos there are tons of efforts and research behind, and like you said, just reading the research paper, even for me when I was in college, wasn't that easy, and to discern different information is really critical. And I just had a flash of ideas. Like I know you mentioned it's a longer version that you guys prepare because it's more in depth, and that's totally good for like to spread like the school system, or maybe future in some other events and conference. And maybe it could also be another more edited down version that it's like maybe just 1 minute, like a ad, right? So to pop up somewhere to catch youth's attention, because once it's long, sometimes you lose people. Yeah, and maybe one thing can be added. It could be like the cultural aspect of it, like how sometimes youth and the popular culture kind of give it a cool and swag image, and a lot of time those popular culture make an influence on how people getting to try their first time or just take pictures looking really cool. And I think that happened in some of my friends. And so maybe to incorporate that, like peer pressure and how the popular culture kind of paint a cool picture on it.
Yeah, the popular culture was, the popular culture was like definitely one of the reasons we decided to do this topic. Like personally, I saw a video on YouTube like about an introduction to like vaping and its harms. But when I looked at the comments, it seems like it was harshly criticized by people. And now I know those people are actually probably vapors that are influenced by the propaganda by the e-cigarette companies. So that's one of the reasons we were really like passionate about like making something like this and providing solid evidence.
Thank you again, everyone. Thank you. And so just for other contestants, just want to make sure you feel comfortable and fair. So like, I mean, depends on the teammates, the numbers of teammates and the amount of maybe the length of the intro videos or videos, it might be different. But you can definitely get time because we're flexible to explain or do more Q&A. So just want to throw it out there. Okay, so next team will be Jensen. Hi, are you ready? You're on the move.
Hi,
and I
I'm
see
ready.
you are returning contestants. And
Yeah.
welcome again. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm getting a really bad connection on the road. So
You want me to just play your intro video and then your main video?
yeah, sorry, the connection
Cool.
is really bad. I'm getting like 0 bars of data.
Hi everyone, my name is Jansen, and I've always enjoyed making films and being a filmmaker, and considering the fact that my mom has experiences with cancer, I took this opportunity to make a film where she talks about her experiences and what she learned from getting cancer. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
March 12, 2010, a date in which the course of my life would be altered forever. The date in which my mom had come home after having been diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer that has spread to her lymph nodes and lungs. It's been over 9 years now. My mom is doing well. She says that to her, getting cancer wasn't a curse. It was a chance to learn and bring about change. She grew to appreciate life and what comes with it, setting goals to live life to the fullest, travel, gain new experiences, make memories, and most important, to be grateful for what she has. My mom often tells me this: do what you want if it makes you happy. She encourages me to make lots of friends, to make memories that last a lifetime, to gain new experiences and see new things. She says that cancer has taught her that is what's important. Living a happy life is what's important. To see new things and leaving your imprint on this world is what's important. So I'm gonna do exactly that. taking what my mom said to heart, I look forward to living a life in which I live to the fullest. I am ready to make more unforgettable memories and experience new things. So thank you, Mom, for what you have taught me.
Thank you. And Jensen, don't worry about your connection. We're in this again. So I think we saw the video okay. Everything was well. And now it's the time that you're under the spotlight for the judges to have some Q&A. Okay.
Can you guys hear me fine? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, hi Jensen. We can hear you. This is Ying, and yeah. So first of all, welcome back, and you're always surprising us. I think last time was the creativity of your video, and this time I'm really impressed by your inspiring video with the beautiful scenery. And also here, I want to read out some of Dr. Yu, our judge, but who unfortunately cannot make it. She made a special comment. I enjoyed much of this great movie, which is very well made with very nice viewing skills. Beautiful scenery to expression the mood shift. Touched by how Jensen appreciated the life philosophy from his mom. And she especially point out there's very nice acknowledgement at the very end. And this is a very great for patient advocacy, which I totally agree, whatever what Dr. Yu said. I have a question for you. So it's a nice video. And which part of the video did you feel it's most challenging to you? And how did you solve it?
Oh, wait, can you repeat that? I'm just gonna put my other earbud in. I can't really hear.
Sure. Yeah, which part of the video making is the most challenging for you? And how did you resolve that?
I think the hardest part would probably be like getting the story, because like I needed to like kind of like create this narrative with like what my mom told me about her experiences with cancer. So yeah.
To choose the story, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think from the epidemiology data, I think thyroid cancer, of course, is depending on which subtypes. There are different subtypes. There's the papillary and follicular. There's also medullary and some other types. So depending on the subtypes. But the good news is I think it's most of the thyroid cancer has a very good survival rate. So I have my best wishes for your mom.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, and I think I will leave the question and comment session for other judges.
Yeah, hello. So Dr. Ying is absolutely right. And of course, we are all sorry for your mom and what she's been going through, but the good thing that the survival, it's one of the highest or the highest survival of all the cancers, thyroid cancer. And I'm glad she's doing very well. And looks like she still go to El Camino Hospital, so maybe that's why. Anyway, I think you got the message and you are living. So you are living the life to the fullest. You are driving at the same time you are Zooming. So stay safe though, stay safe. Are you driving yourself or somebody else driving?
No, I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, at least you're okay. So no, I was very touched by your story and your mom, and very well done as a video. Maybe other judges would want to add something.
Yeah, so I thought the same thing. I thought the video was very beautiful and engaging. I really enjoyed it. What kind of other additional research did you do to find out more information about the type of cancer your mom had? Did you do any additional research online, or was it mainly just speaking with her about her journey?
Jensen, you're muted. Don't worry.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I lost connection for a second and I came back. All right, so basically I was saying that I just basically talked to my mom about it. It was the diagnosis was a while ago, so she kind of knew everything. She knew everything from the doctors and just kind of relayed the information to me. Yeah. You guys get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a really inspiring, beautiful video.
Thank you.
Other judges?
Yes, hi, this is Katie. Like others, I enjoyed the video, very nicely done.
Thank you.
And glad that you are enjoying your life, and wish your mom and your family the very best as she recovers. But I'd also like to add maybe some pointer that along with enjoying the life, maybe you can add some mission to help others, other families, other, friends who may be going through similar situation, to inspire them. And also to learn more about cancer.
Yeah. Definitely.
It will be educational because you are young and you have a full life ahead of you. So that might give you some additional directions from your, very difficult experiences.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I
yes, Jasmine, I saw your hand. Go ahead.
Okay. I think that was super good. Like the shots, they're super professional and it was really inspiring. And where did you shoot that?
Oh, well, most of it was along Highway 1. Some Lake Tahoe, just across, there's a bunch of different areas. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you use the drone as showing in the video?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did actually have a drone.
Okay. Cool.
Anyone?
Oh yeah, I also have a question, comment.
Sure.
I just really loved your message of living a happy life and making every day count. I think your video it was really good at portraying the message of appreciation of life with all the beautiful sceneries and stuff. I know Jasmine would be interested in this question because she made our video. What kind of softwares did you use to make this video? It was so cool.
Oh, okay. For software, I use DaVinci Resolve. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, what was that again?
DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci
Resolve. Yeah. Wait, do you go to Valley Christian?
Yeah.
Okay, you can ask Mr. Rausch about these questions because I actually went to Valley Christian too.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Ling?
Well, Jensen, of course, I enjoy your video from your last contest. So I'm so glad you're back and giving us such a wonderful, beautiful video and great message.
Yeah, thank you.
And just by joining the contest, you are utilizing it to help us, help everybody in terms of dealing with cancer, get some positive outcome knowledge, and also the mind setting, the mental health aspect. So you are really utilizing your your skills, what you learn, and to use it in a good place. And I really thank you very much for that. And I hope you continue the effort. And I really am happy also that you are willing to share with your fellow very Christian students. That's one of the reasons I would like to start this youth ambassador program, because I feel we can all learn from each other and become better. So I really appreciate it. It's such a beautiful work. I think you're going to be, amazing, in your career, your pursuit, and, whatever. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Jensen,
you.
thank you so much. And you also put on the Chinese subtitle. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I think
Oh yeah, no problem.
I have like a lot of thoughts coming in. I feel like maybe it was like kind of not the norm of like educational infomercial, but it's just a really nice spin on having a macro view of life, because like sometimes like difficulties and illness happen inside us, but how we view the world and how we have a higher up view will help us transcend, right? So I think that's also what I've been going through in the past couple months, like going really inward, but at the same time appreciate life in a holistic way. So definitely some other maybe videos will be more on the mind level. And yours, the aesthetics and viewpoints and the message integrating with the music and everything really touches the heart. That's
All right,
what I want to say. Okay, thank you.
Thank
you can mute. Just kidding.
All right.
Okay, next group. Are you ready? All right. So next group, I think it's Audrey Khan.
Hello.
Hey, thank you. It's your turn.
Okay. So I don't have an intro video, but I can just, introduce myself a little bit. Hi, my name is Audrey. I'm a senior, and the reason I decided to do this like general topic about lung cancer is because two members of my family, my grandpa and my uncle, they don't have lung cancer, but they are like heavy smokers and they smoke very regularly. So I wanted to do a little bit more research on that and see what other like sorts of things could cause it besides tobacco and smoking. So yeah, that was just my basic thought process on making this video. Brian, if you would like to play it, thank you.
The average person takes 12 to 20 breaths per minute. That's anywhere between 17,280 and 22,040 breaths a day, and 8,409,600 breaths a year. Most of the time, this happens subconsciously. Now what happens when this function we take for granted is snatched away from us? Lung cancer is among the leading cancer types for the most death rates. In 2016, lung cancer placed number 6 on the list of top 10 causes of death worldwide. There are two distinct types of lung cancer: non-small cell lung cancer and the rarer small cell lung cancer. In both small cell lung cancer and non-small cell lung cancer, there are distinct stages. In small cell lung cancer, stages are divided into the limited stage and the extensive stage. Limited stage describes a cancer only affecting one lung, with the exception of widespread tumors throughout the lung. Extensive stage describes cancers that are widespread throughout both lungs, to the lymph nodes on the other side of the chest, or to other parts of the body, such as the bone marrow. Non-small cell lung cancer has several stages. The first stage of non-small cell lung cancer is stage 0, otherwise known as carcinoma. Other stages range from 1 to 4. As a rule, the lower the number, the less the cancer has spread. The higher the number, the more the cancer has spread. Small cell lung cancer is caused by a number of factors, including smoking cigarettes or tobacco, being exposed to secondhand smoke, asbestos, arsenic, chromium, beryllium, nickel, soot, or tar. In addition, exposure to radiation, radon, imaging tests like CT scans, heavy air pollution, HIV infections, beta-carotene supplements, and a family history of lung cancer all contribute to one's chance of getting small cell lung cancer. As one gets older, the chances of getting lung cancer increase as well. However, tobacco is a leading risk factor, as it accounts for the high chance of mutation in the illness itself, which could hinder treatment completely. Currently, chemotherapy and immunotherapy remain the top treatments for non-small cell lung cancer. Other treatments are still in the early phases and with limited successes. Non-small cell lung cancer is similar, in that risk factors include exposure to cigarette smoke, asbestos, and certain paints and chemicals. For those with stage 0 non-small cell lung cancer, treatment involves traditional and laser surgery and brachytherapy. Scientists are still hoping to find a cure for lung cancer, and perhaps one day, with our technological and medical achievements, we may reach a point where it may be completely vanquished.
Thank you. And I think it's time for the judges to make Q&A and comments.
Yeah, hi, Audrey. Yeah, thanks for this very beautiful research and video into your project. And I think it's very well illustrated from different aspects of lung cancer. It's a nice review. And also I think like lung cancer is probably the most, there's a lot of treatment targeted therapy regarding especially non-small cell lung cancer recent years. So it's really great progress in the medical field as well. And I have a question for you. So I saw like it's very nice video pictures as well as backed up with good scientific research. So did you discover yourself like as an artist and as a scientist during this production process, and why? Did you discover some new parts that you didn't know before?
Yeah, well, first of all, for like the animation thing, it was my first time using like Adobe Animate on my computer, so it was like, that was a little bit new. I think I learned a lot about like the animation process, especially in terms of like the science thing. I did not realize how much research had to be put into it initially, but the more I went on, the more I had to like kind of look through different like websites. I had to like fact check a couple of things. And I honestly did not realize how little I knew about lung cancer. For example, I didn't even know there are two different types, like non-small cell lung cancer and small cell lung cancer. So that was a bit of a shocker for me in the beginning. But yeah, I think I definitely learned a lot from making the video.
Okay. May I ask what resources did you use for your knowledge part?
I didn't write them down or anything, but basically I used, I would, conduct a quick search on the internet, and then I would try to find the ones that were more credible. So just by searching it up right now, like stuff like mayoclinic.org, cancer.org, Medline Plus, yeah, cancer.gov, stuff like that, cdc.gov, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think all the resources you just mentioned are fantastic resources. And also don't forget about the American Cancer Society website. Okay. There's a lot of good information there too.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cancer.org.
Other judges?
Yes, hi. This is Kay again. Yes, I'm very impressed at the research and investigation. that has been done. Unfortunately, it was not very audible to me. I don't know whether it is my system. And I followed up with, I think, someone, Brian or somebody, and he said he couldn't make it any louder. But I got the gist of the presentation. So it's really very inspiring, and lung cancer is very preventable. So more data, more information that goes into the system, better it is that people know they can self-inflict the injuries by smoking, by vaping, and all different kinds of, and some of it are not preventable, like exposure to the environment and so on. In terms of the research, I want to mention that there's a very good effective drug that's in the market, that's Keytruda, and you may want to look into that and have better understanding and add to your research for future discussion and so on. Keytruda is primarily effective against non-small cell carcinoma in the lung cancer. But it's a very well put together. And although, as I said, I couldn't quite hear everything very well, but got the gist of it, and the pictures are very clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I tend to speak very quietly, so yeah, sorry.
I wasn't sure it was your voice or my system, but I couldn't quite, or maybe my hearing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you did a wonderful job.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So it was a very good presentation. I mean, it's at the level of giving education to patient. All the time we struggle in the clinic seeing patient by giving them the right information at maybe a level of 4th or 5th graders so they can understand it all. It's nice that you went to many respect the website to do your research. However, sometimes they don't update information all the time at the same time. I think in the Chinese population in general, and that's how we found about these mutation and molecular mutations. And Dr. Ying, she can maybe correct me, she's the pathologist. The lung cancer occur at a high rate in female of Chinese descent who might have a mutation. It's a somatic, it just happened. It's in the receptor on the cells, it's called EGFR. And now we do have a lot of medication against that. And patients do very well, better than the chemotherapy. There's now other mutation that we know. Immune, so that would maybe, if you want to add or update your presentation, you can suggest targeted therapy in addition to chemo and immune therapy. Now, of course, Keytruda or the pembrolizumab, the chemical name, is a very potent medication that we sometimes combine with chemo, sometimes we sit alone, depending on each case and depending on certain score that we have to check for. Again, immunotherapy has made a big progress for lung cancer. So these nowadays we have also sometimes surgery, as you mentioned, sometimes also we do radiation. There's a lot of progress in the radiation field, and sometimes we combine radiation and chemo depending on the stages. So I think also the staging that you show, maybe I quickly, maybe there's the 8th edition of the AJCC or the American Joint on Cancer. I forgot the whole name for it, but they are this committee that does all the staging for all the cancers. So yeah, if you're gonna review this, just to update a few things like that. And I think, as I said, it's at the level of a very good patient tool for patient education.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I didn't get to look too much at that, but I will definitely look at that now. So thank you.
I also thought it was a really great video and very informative and very engaging and creative. I think for me, do you have any thoughts of making it a little bit longer? And the only reason I ask that is because I work with events, so we do a lot of mission information to the public, to the general public. So I think there was a couple spots I felt like there was a lot of information and things happening on the screen that maybe if it was lengthened or slowed down a little bit, I think that would be great for like, the general public, you know, when sharing that type of mission with them and that mission information. So do you have thoughts of like creating a little bit longer video at all?
Yeah, I think if I can find time, because like right now I'm doing like college applications and everything. So if I can find time to do it, I think I definitely would make it longer and like add more information into it that like on certain topics such as like treatment, because like I focus like on early treatment in the beginning, but like yeah, it was more concise. So I think definitely, yeah.
Definitely, I work again with events, and we're obviously pivoting to virtual events. I would definitely use this as a tool in one of my events as well too. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can do a series, you know, one for treatment, one for staging. You never know. Then maybe the cancer.gov will have all your videos, you know.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. Maybe I'd be better at animation by then. So.
Can I go? Okay. That was really cool, and I like how you made it like kind of sad, so people are like, oh my gosh, I need to be aware of that, and they watch and stuff, and like you put in the cool like breathing effects, and yeah, I just made it really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like people don't usually like, just in terms of how I've seen like a lot of people discuss lung cancer or like just like cancer in general, like a lot of the times they use like fear tactics. If you've seen those like anti-vaping ads, like where it's like, don't vape or else your lungs will fall out. I think, yeah, what I wanted to do was just get the information across in a manner that like, you know, would allow them to like understand it and pay attention to it instead of like being like offended. And I don't know, some people get offended sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, this is Ying again. I just want to quickly second for Dr. Risha's comment about the AGCC American, I believe it's American Journal, Joint Committee of Cancer. So that's a good resource for staging. That's how pathologists as well as clinicians use clinically. I think it's too much for you to know so many like resources at this time, but I think it's good to keep something familiar in your mind. For instance, if you want to go to medical school later in the future, or make your like poster or presentation more like medical. And when you talk about lung cancer, it's always good to include all the new targeted therapies, as Dr. Risha mentioned, like the EGF in Asian females. So in certain ethnicity has a certain mutation, those epidemiology data helped a lot of patients really. Yeah, thank you. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just give maybe more hope, you know, and choices for patient, right? Because especially when you're dealing with the cancer at a late stage, you want to always try to give that option of hope. I mean, you have to be, of course, very say the truth and be very upfront, but also some of these medications have been very, very useful and have extended the survival of many of the patients.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think if I make another video, I will definitely focus more on the treatment. So to kind of give like more hope, like you said.
So next year competition, you'll do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Ning, any comment?
Yes, this is very personal to me because my mom died of lung cancer in 2018. So I want to tell you that although I've been volunteering for American Cancer Society for so long, I'm doing a lot of events. I do education events, but I was so busy in making the events, making it successful to teach people. I myself was running around, making coffee, getting dessert. I did not really listen to what the presentation is about. So when it happened to my mom, I was totally unprepared. You know, it was lung cancer, and what the doctor said, Dr. In said, and your video said, you know, a lot of them will be so useful when it happened. But when it happened to you and you didn't have the knowledge, there's just no time to find those knowledge. You know, you're so busy with other things, trying to make her feel comfortable. So you just feel, oh my God, I should have educated myself much better. So I think your video is so inspiring. It will be very useful. So I'm glad Christy saw the value of it. So first of all, I think your video technique is really great. I mean, it looks really wonderful already. But you know, sound you definitely have to improve, because a lot of times in an event, in whatever, if people can't hear you, your knowledge is lost. It's such a pity. So you definitely want to have somebody play your video to test the sound. You know, sound is very important to get the message through. And a lot of times people don't have their problem with their hearing, you know, especially elder ones. So sound quality, definitely you need to improve and make it better. And I hope if you can find the time, help American Cancer Society to, you know, create some of these videos that they can use for events, and maybe even on cancer.org if you got, you know, of course, people need to review your work, make sure it's correct enough to be on cancer.org. But, you know, even for the youth conference, I would like to consider it. Of course, I know you're busy with school, but, you know, these are all very good things. We depend. That's why I thought this multimedia kind of is so wonderful, because use your technology, you know, your more advanced technology than people like us. You can do so many wonderful things. And I really thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your comments. I think that definitely helped a lot. Yeah, I will definitely try to do that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you doing it on your own this time?
Yeah, I originally meant to have a partner, but she didn't want to do it. So it's just me. So, yeah.
Sure. I think that's why we have to also take that into consideration, because she's a one girl team. That's why I think it will gonna reoccur a lot throughout today's event. And when we have this type of event that everyone get to kind of know each other, even though you might not go to the same school. In the future, if something really come to fruition, like working for some special project for the Chinese unit or American Cancer Society, you can definitely tap into the talents of the different peers here, because like some of them are really good at presentation, kind of like a news announcer, and some of them are and working on their professional career, learning on how to make film, and so you don't have to do it all on your own or be good at it. So like just technical part, maybe then if someone had an external mic, that will be a better when you speak to it, right? But I think for now, because the limited time and resource and you're one, so that's why like the product level of production, it's not kind of the same. But like for Jensen, because he has the equipment and the expertise, and so that's why I'm thinking like if you guys come together as a team or like a committee, then some are really good at researching, some are really good at storyboarding, some really good at editing, and so everyone come together and that comes a masterpiece, right? And so just a little bit, not to say too much, so it's really affect me personally too. I lost my father to lung cancer 2 years ago, and I have a close friend's father also recently operated because of the lung cancer, but he fortunately didn't need to do any other therapy. So for me, I overcame that that grief already, and I feel like it's really empowering. And a lot of time, it's we wish we know everything, but that's not the truth, not even the doctor, right? So I'm there to say, because I'm their first person. So, and when you like talk to different doctors and everyone have their studies and years of experience, still that's an individual case. Like the lung cancer in my father might be really different from the lung cancer in my friend's father, even though they're the same type of cancer, right? So I think a lot of time it's just really how we say positive, and that's how our hearts come into place rather than the mind, like criticizing ourselves or kind of blaming ourselves or doing things. And that's what I learned since the passing of my father, and to stay positive. And a lot of time treatments might not be the best for different people. So I remember for him, in a hindsight, he said that he wished he didn't do chemotherapy, but who knows, right? But when this is also when the staging comes into place, because I just want to bring one kind of information. It's the healthcare system and the insurance system policies, because it depends on the staging. I think that really affects how available, kind of like the availability of the treatment. It's available for the family, and also like the pricing and everything. So it's a lot. But for now, you are having a good peek into this topic, and we just want to encourage you and commend you on your effort. Just not to be stressed that you have to know everything, not even any of us, right? Okay. And Samantha?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say I really like the idea of like working together. Audrey, would you like be willing to like work with I'd love to work with you, Audrey, on like the staging research part. So I mean, we could talk about that later. Like
Yeah,
it sounds super cool to like make a video like that. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. If you want, I can contact you.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
I'd like to add
yeah,
one
sure.
more thing, because as you know, with the American Society, there's a lot of emphasis on prevention, right? And another point to add to the presentation, or another presentation, is to screen people at risk for lung cancer among mainly the smokers. So now we do have guidelines from different medical society where they look at the age of the patient, how many cigarettes, pack of cigarettes have smoked, how many years. They do the simple math. You multiply the number of years by number of packet per day, you got a score. So on average, and if the people have a good life expectancy, and people who have smoked more than 30 pack per year, right? So between the age of 50, 55 up to 75, we go screen them now using a CT scan. We call it a low dose CT scan without contrast. And the idea is to find those small spots of cancer and operate on these patients, even they have no symptoms. And that's the goal, to cure them. And of course, they have to stop smoking, of course. Jessica mentioned also that not all treatments would be appropriate. And then, of course, every patient is different, even if they have the same disease. There's a lot of emphasis about all the supportive treatment or palliative care. You might hear that term, palliative care, where they try to work with the patient's symptoms. There's also, some people get treatment, some they don't with the palliative care. Also the hospice care, where we focus only on pain. And last, California state, one of the few states in the union where doctors can prescribe medication to patient if they want to end their life, if it's a very, very late stage disease. So again, and you cannot put everything in like 5-minute video. I understand lots of information, but that give you ideas, you know, for, as I said, next year competition, you know, that you can go on prevention only, new therapies, you know, end of life, which is a very important topic as well. So yeah, but overall, very good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that's really powerful and informing insights. And for me personally, that's really important because like the screening, my father and both the friends' fathers are heavy smokers, like especially when they were in China, and he had regularly kind of regular X-ray, but not the low dose CT, and I think he didn't had it for like he wasn't under monitor for like 1.5 years, and that tumor grew so big that he couldn't believe it. He was like, oh, 1.5 years ago it was all clear. And so, but for my friend's father's case, and they got caught like kind of earlier, so that's why it's only operation. But that's like some details. But for me personally, I became really interested in studying hospice and end of life topic. So depends, like this a whole spectrums, and so like don't be overwhelmed, and you can pick like specific topic to focus on, and that will be good, right? And next team has been waiting for a long time. So Zhang siblings, and are you ready? Okay, here you go.
Okay, hi guys, so I'm Christine, a junior at Cupertino High School, and my partner is my younger brother Enoch, who is a freshman. So one of the reasons why we chose lymphoma as our topic is because last year we happened to do leukemia, which is also a white blood cell type of cancer. And then for our video, we wanted to make it into an educational and informative format where the target group would be slightly younger, so possibly in middle school or elementary school, since from personal experience, we were in elementary school when we found out that our parent was diagnosed with leukemia. And so we really wanted to help younger children be able to understand what maybe their parents or siblings are going through. And so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video.
Hi, my name is Enoch and my partner's name is Christine. Together we are the Zing Sib. Previously, we researched on leukemia, which is a white blood cell cancer. And this year, our multimedia video will inform the viewers of the lymphatic cancer lymphoma. We decided to choose this certain cancer because the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is the most common white blood cell cancer in the world. And 580,000 people are diagnosed with lymphoma each year. We are extremely excited to share with you our video, and we hope that more people will be informed on lymphoma.
Lymphoma, cancer of the lymphatic system. Number 1, lymphoma. Number 2, symptoms. Number 3, diagnosis. Number 4, treatment. Number 5, coping with lymphoma. What is lymphoma? Lymphoma first starts in our immune system. Lymphocytes, infection prevention cells, begin to change and grow uncontrollably due to a genetic mutation. This mutation allows cells to go on living when other normal cells would die, resulting in swelling in your lymph nodes, spleen, and liver. Several risk factors include your age, your gender. Males are more likely to develop lymphoma compared to females. Having an impaired immune system and developing certain infections all make it more likely to develop lymphoma. There are 2 types of lymphoma. Number 1, Hodgkin. This includes the presence of Reed-Sternberg cells. It typically arises in the upper body and can be diagnosed at an early stage. Non-Hodgkin lymphoma. This does not include Reed-Sternberg cells, and it begins in lymph nodes anywhere in the body. Non-Hodgkin lymphoma is not diagnosed until an advanced stage. What are the symptoms? Several symptoms include swollen and painless glands are often found around the neck or armpit. People might cough, feel shortness of breath, or even have a fever. Fatigue, weight loss, itching, and sweating during the night are also common symptoms. How do doctors diagnose lymphoma? Number 1, they perform a physical exam. The doctor will check for swollen lymph nodes. Number 2, removal of lymph nodes for testing. A lymph node biopsy is performed to determine if lymph cells are present and what other types of cells are present as well. Blood test. A blood test counts the number of cells in the blood sample. Bone marrow testing. A sample of bone marrow is removed by inserting the needle into the hip bone. The sample is then analyzed to look for lymphoma cells. Imaging test. Imaging tests such as CT scans, MRI, and PET help find signs of lymphoma in other areas of the body. Other tests. Other possible tests include a gallium scan, ultrasound, lumbar puncture, gastroscopy, and colonoscopy. 3 types of treatment for lymphoma include chemotherapy, the treatment of cancer using drugs that prevent cancer cells from rapidly growing and reproducing. Radiotherapy. This includes using X-rays or other types of radiation to kill cancer cells. Antibody therapy. Antibody therapy is a newer form of treatment for non-Hodgkin lymphomas, where an antibody is used. How do patients cope with symptoms of lymphoma? Coping with swollen lymph nodes. Swollen lymph nodes tend to get better after treatment. Patients are advised not to check on lymph nodes too often. Coping with weight loss. Patients should boost calorie intake by choosing full-fat options or adding high-calorie foods to daily diet. Coping with swollen arms or legs. Patients should keep the affected limb elevated and avoid putting pressure on swollen areas. Exercise is recommended. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, thank you. So any additional comments you want to add before the judges? No, then we can go straight to Dr. Liu and the judges. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the good work. So I really particularly enjoy your very first introduction. So you outline what you're going to talk about in the later video. I really enjoyed that slides. And also, so as a pathologist, I particularly appreciate that you use a histological picture as your introduction background. That's really nice. I have a question. First of all, I have I think a small comment. So in one of the slides toward the end, you have I think a diagnostic testing slides. So you mainly point out the bone marrow study and the imaging, and also you listed another category as other test. So in the other test, you listed the lumbar puncture. So lumbar puncture is mainly a technique like they use to collect the bone marrow study. So it's the same thing as a bone marrow study. So that's just one thing I noticed and want to point it out. And I have a question for you. So I think it's a good amount of comprehensive study, but based on your study, talk about non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin lymphoma. Do you know which type is more common?
I'm pretty sure it was the non-Hodgkin's. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got it right. I think non-Hodgkin.
I stated it in the introduction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you stated that too. It's 95% of lymphoma non-Hodgkin. So Hodgkin only 5%, or like less than that. Thank you.
Hi, this is again Kay speaking. Hello. Yes. Hi.
Hi,
I very much enjoyed the presentation. Very mature, very methodically prepared. As a scientist, I love the presentation. And I'm wondering, is there someone help you in putting these slides together? Because that's an art and that's very important, how to get your message across to your audience. And it is very well done. So did you guys do it yourself, all by yourself, or you get some help? Which is fine to get some help, but you know.
Yeah, so for the slides, we definitely got some help since neither of us are really great at this kind of graphical design or animation.
I don't expect it to be at your age and, you know, but you got a very good training, yes. So you got some help in putting the information and the slides together.
As for the research and the information, we were able to do that ourselves since we both have experience in this kind of researching kind of format. And so we were able to get that done without any additional help. But for the slides, especially the graphics and whatsoever, we did find help online for it.
Yeah, it's very important that not to overcrowd each slide with a lot of information, so that you have nicely break it down to minimum information, because if human attention span and to grasp all of the idea, you have to break it down. And normally it is not more than 3 or 4 lines per slide. And you have done it beautifully. You know? So I have no other comment, but really, really enjoyed it. You know? Very important topic.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So it was a very good presentation. I wish it was longer. You could have incorporate more information. It's a very simple, very nice presented. As you know, there are 57 types of lymphoma, like these cells at different stage of their growing, differentiating to become lymphocytes, and then under the lymphocytes, maybe you know from your biology, we have T and B cell. There's also other cells that can also become lymphoma, like the macrophages, and you know, so we're not expect to indulge our patient with all, or the people who listening to you with all this basics information. But staging is very important in lymphoma. You mentioned that. So we do the bone marrow biopsy to see if there's the involvement of the marrow, is where the leukemia actually starts. And we do the lumbar puncture in certain type of lymphoma and certain indication, or to see if the spine and the brain are involved. The treatments, you can also maybe do more search if you're going to update that presentation. So usually we do sometimes combined chemo and antibody therapy together, sometimes not. And also now we have the immune therapy used in certain type of lymphoma. And the most important, and then when we talk to patients in the clinic, and when I have a lymphoma patient, and Dr. Ying, she can comment, she's at the academic center, is we do clinical trials. It's a very important because there are certain type of lymphoma are very rare subtypes and there's no treatment for them. So we encourage patients to go on clinical trials. That's a very important option for patient. And because we live in Northern California in the Bay Area, you have many academic centers that would have a lot of therapy for these patients.
Yeah, so definitely we are going to consider making possibly another kind of informative slide. Maybe that's more detailed and more targeted to the patients themselves, rather than the younger kids who might have a sibling or a parent or a grandparent who is affected with this disease. Since our target for this presentation was more for younger children so that they could understand what someone else is going through.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought the video was great. It has very informative, easy to follow. I like the way you had put it together. I kind of had a similar question to Dr. K too. I was wondering if either of you had done the graphics for the slides because they were really good. And I think, especially since you said it's more geared to children, I think it was very appealing. I don't think I remember seeing a reference slide. So where did you pull your materials and your research knowledge from?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we didn't create a citation slides. Most of our information are from credible sources. So like I think Audrey said earlier, we used a lot from like Mayo Clinic. We also definitely use Cancer Society's website for help for their lymphomia webpage.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Ling?
Oh, yes, I also share with the other judges I think the organization. I mean, it's actually very hard to present some complex subject in a very organized manner and clearly and concisely. And you did that, and I really appreciate it. Great job. I know we are limited. With the 5 minutes, we have a 5-minute limit to our work in the contest, but I'm sure all this nice work can be expanded and to include more knowledge. All have great potential. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the participants? A thumbs up from Jasmine. Appreciate that. So I think it's a really good reminder for every group that in the future or as a refinement for this project to add a reference slide or just a really brief, after the movie, you see like the credit and just go really fast, but still you give the citation. And especially if you make it available to the public on YouTube, it's good to have that, so people know you're citing credible sources. Okay, and without further ado, let's move on to the next, our last video group name. Right? Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right, so I guess let me introduce myself first. My name is Evan Liu. I am a rising sophomore in Cupertino High School. And so this video is kind of just to it's kind of a very introductory video to people who haven't really got to cancer education or research. And so it's very introductory, and I did put a lot of links in the description for further research. And so also this video is very centered around prevention. And yeah. Oh yeah, one last thing. I also made this from DaVinci. I think it was DaVinci Resolve. Yeah. So the same software that Jansen used. So I thought that was really interesting. All right. So Brian, you can go ahead and play the video.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you ever heard of colon cancer? It's a type of cancer that begins in the large intestine, or the colon, mainly affecting the older.
Who the heck are you? How did you get in my house?
I'm Cancer Man. You know, I tell people about the dangers of cancer and educate people about. Okay, alright, I'm gonna head out. Colon cancer, like I said, mainly affects the older populations, those 50 and up. Colorectal cancer, the umbrella term for colon and rectal cancer, is the third most common cancer worldwide, excluding skin cancers. And although survival rates are increasing and treatment is improving, in no way is this an indication to stop caring about early prevention. It can happen in many ways. Whether you're obese, not obese, or kind of obese, you're at risk. Oh, and also if you're an avid smoker or drinker. You could even notice common occurrences in your very own lifestyle that increase your risk.
911, what's your emergency?
While the link between cancer and being extremely overweight is not fully understood, it is the cause of cancer among many patients. Watching your diet and exercising are also highly impactful in prevention, as well as to your health in general. Sadly, there are some risk factors that one cannot change. A personal or family history of different diseases, as well as your ethnic background, could put you at a higher risk. The bright side is that there are now more than 1.5 million colorectal cancer survivors. As research is progressing, and more people are being educated by me, Cancerman, and other great advocates for cancer, the future is not at all bleak. So hey, at the end of the day, it's okay if I'm being arrested for illegal trespassing. There'll be other people, like perhaps you, to spread the word in my place. Just try to send me food. Ramen maybe. Actually, ramen would be really nice.
Thank you. I think that's an interesting comic spin on it. And so, Dr. Liu.
Yeah. I enjoyed the video. It's kind of short version, and I think what's interesting is like even though it's short, you still have like kind of a lot of information you put there. And I think one thing was it really I find the most creative. It's your Cancerman figure creation. That's kind of interesting and to guide through your presentation. I have I think I'll first appreciate your emphasis on the early prevention of colon cancer, and I think that's also what American Cancer Society has been promoting the community. So I think I did a couple of years ago with Lynn. It's 80 by 818. So the goal was like 80% people get screened for colon cancer after age 50 for a non-risk population person by 2018. So like a lot of, it's good in practice right now. My question for you is, if you're going to make this video again, what would you do differently?
It's a great question. Actually, I would, because I didn't include the screening part, I would really like to include how screening is essential for like discovering cancer. And because I didn't put it in the video, I actually put it in the video description. So maybe Ryan, you could pull it up for a sec.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. So cancer prevention for colon cancer, especially, very important. And I thought you touched base on that topic, but we can extend that to so it will have more education role for the general population. Would be nice. Thank you. Good work.
All right, and so here in the video description, I have actually included like resources for if you like think you have colorectal cancer, like if you're having doubts, and then also the signs and symptoms. Just yeah, and then also I included my citations. Yeah, that's it.
Other judges? Thank you.
I thought it was a very creative video. Great job. With Cancerman kind of in mind, did you originally start out this video and presentation geared more towards kids or just in general, the general public?
I'd say like anyone who has, or I guess anyone who doesn't really or hasn't really gone into like the field of cancer and I guess has that sense of humor.
I thought it was great. It's very engaging, so great job.
Thank you.
So I do agree that you could maybe have done a longer version of the video. You present a lot of information, but the message was very, very clear. Screening now is the best tool for colon cancer to increase survival overall, especially when we have, and now you all know, understand the staging. When we go stage 4, that means disease has spread to other organ. Usually patients don't on average live that much, roughly 2 years or so, even with, you know, the chemotherapy. Under treatment, you could also add a section about immune therapy for certain patients that might be eligible for that therapy, and that also has increased a lot the survival of these patients. It's also important, as you mentioned, and I like that, about cutting on the fat in the food, exercise, losing weight. All these are, stop smoking, you know, all these are good tools for the public to prevent colon cancer.
Definitely.
Dr. K, any comment?
Yeah,
so-
like everybody else, I enjoyed the video, but I think it could be a great educational tool if it could be broken down and maybe a little bit slower pace and break down the information so that it will be easier to grasp and digest. You know, there's a lot of information there, but it is a little bit too fast pace and more of entertainment than serious scientific information. But there's some room for improvement, but a lot of good information there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Edward. I do have some comments. I've been diagnostic with colon cancer about 2 years ago. And so my own experience, it's a very important thing is to, for my life, I think, you know, your food is very important. You have to balance it. I didn't, you know, pay too much attention to the food I was eating before I was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer. Then I realized, you know, maybe that's one of the main factor. You just have to take the American Cancer Society their guide to balance your food. Take a lot of veg food, things like that. And for most of the people, when you were young, when you are healthy, you don't pay too much attention to it. But those colon cancer, you don't have any symptom. Like in my case, I just go to routine colon colonoscopy, and the doctor said that I have some polyps, maybe there's a cancer. So they did a laboratory and they found out I have early stage cancer. So right away, I arranged the surgery, and then now almost 2 years passed. I'm very healthy, no problem. So two most important factors for colon cancer is to eat healthy, number one. That's a one big step for prevent colon cancer. Number two is early detection, like the routine colonoscopy, that do help. So I myself is one typical example for this case. And I hope everybody, you know, just pay attention to it and eat healthy and also do early detection. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Edward. Thank you for sharing. I'm just curious for you to share what is the one thing or something that you cut out from your diet for your change?
I don't eat too much veg, you know, before I got my cancer. Since I had a colon cancer, you know, I kind of eat more balanced. I've always told myself that I need salads, you know, veg, you know, for every meal. So that's important. Okay, and also because I don't have any symptom, so I would say early detection is also very important because you don't have any symptom, but don't be too late. Sometimes we just say, oh, I don't have symptoms, so you ignore those ACS there, instruction, for adults, you'll probably have to do every 5 years about colonoscopy, and you don't be lazy. You just have to go. Okay, that save your life.
Yeah, I can talk about his diet because I love vegetables. So I always complain, you're not eating enough vegetable, don't do enough exercise. So of course he learned a big lesson. So right now he does both. He eat a lot of vegetable and do a lot of exercise. So like healthy living style. But you gotta take it. A lot of men and a lot of men or male do not like vegetable. That's what I learned from my experience, but you really need to pay attention.
When you're in your early teens, start having a balanced and healthy diet. Okay, so that's the key takeaway. But like for the colonoscopy, did you proactively request to do it, or the doctor said, "Hey, it's time"?
Yeah, that's another story. Okay.
Okay.
Well, sometimes the insurance company also give you wrong information. Okay, that's a big story. But anyway, you just have to tell yourself, follow the guideline every 5 years. Go to have a colonoscopy. To make sure you're okay. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
And,
the age 50 and above.
Age 50, yeah.
Yeah, I nagged the nag. So he just put it off. So he went to do it. He already got one follow.
The story is that I don't like my insurance company and I don't like my doctor. So I've been postponing for 2 years. But even I told my wife, told Lynn that maybe if I went there 2 years earlier, then I probably can prevent the surgery. Because once you found that those polyps, at an early stage, they just remove it. You don't have to go to surgery. So in my case, I'm kind of lucky, okay, but still I can do better, if I follow the instruction.
Yeah, thank you. So the reason why I went a little.
I want to add. Hi.
Yeah, sure. Hi.
I didn't see, or maybe I missed it, that it's a colon cancer runs in the family. It's more hereditary. So if you know anyone in your family, and doctor may be able to comment on that, you have to be super cautious. Not only healthy lifestyle, just like breast cancer, colon cancer is also very hereditary. So you have to be super careful and go to the doctor, get regular checkup.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. King.
Points you can add to your slide so that people become more informed and aware of the things that they have to do.
Yeah, I very appreciate everyone's input because the reason why I kind of decided maybe it's good to go a little bit in depth. It's from Evan's video and this topic, and because for us, like maybe we're younger, especially for you guys, like the guideline doesn't apply, but it's a good information to tell your parents, for example, and also pay attention to the family history. So for example, I asked my mom, and then my mom asked the doctor, but the doctor kept saying, you don't need it. She's almost 55, right? And then the doctor was like, oh, do the test kit. And then, so like sometimes you have to advocate and keep kind of just remind the doctor. And also I have a friend who's my age, but she has like family history running in several members of her family. So she told the doctor that she's kind of concerned. She's like, oh, I don't really have a good diet and balanced diet, and I have that in the family, but the doctor said, but you don't have any symptom. And so you don't need colonoscopy, wait until another couple years. So sometimes it really depends, but it's good to do the research and talk to someone who has the experience. So that's my kind of take away from Edwards and other people's stories. Okay, and next, I think we have a poster team.
So just to mention quickly,
yeah, sure.
as educational, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure if you mentioned that in the presentation. People who have inflammation in the colon, like certain diseases, which might be common in young people, such as Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. So this inflammation can put these young patients at risk for colon cancer. So they're gonna go for these colonoscopy routinely, sometimes every year, to screen for these polyps before they become cancer. Another thing important, there are, other than colonoscopy, to do screening. Sometimes they check the blood in the stools. There's other commercial available tests to check for that. So some patients, they don't want to go for colonoscopy, that they don't like to drink the stuff, they don't want to go to procedure, they're afraid. There might be other reasons. So there's also other way to screen and to prevent colon cancer. And of course, asking about your family member, if there's any family member, then you start screening 10 years or more. Like, let's say if you're at 50, but you have a family, then we start screening you at age of 40 to prevent that. So there's a lot of those guidelines in the medical field. And to Mr. Wu, you know, always listen to your wife. You know that, right? Just to let you know.
Just one more comment, okay? About the stool lab test, the accuracy only 50%. I kind of worry about that, you know.
So there's no perfect test, right? There's no 100% test, as we know, but that's what the stool, blood in the stool do it every year. Colonoscopy, if it's normal, you wait for 10 years. So that gives you a little bit idea about the sensitivity of the tests. So some people choose to go every year for the blood in the stools test or the Cologuard, rather than going 10 years for their colonoscopy. So it depends how patient have their preferences or how patient look at things, you know, from different angle. But for you, because you already had it, you have to go for colonoscopy now every few years or so.
Well, actually, I had this stool lab test first, okay, and they found two index, one negative. So that's my insurance company put me into colonoscopy. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately,
yeah,
sometimes.
Unfortunately, my case turns out to be a good, you know, good. So I can actually go to surgery. But what I'm trying to say, if you only trust your stool lab test, that's only 50% accuracy. Okay.
Yeah,
one case, my friend has a case. He got both. In his case, he got one positive, one negative. Then he went to colonoscopy, and then they said you don't have any colon cancer. But in my case, you know, I do have a colon cancer. So it's 50% accuracy. So I would say, you know, if you are older than age 50, if your insurance company allowed you to do the colonoscopy test, you know, just do that. Don't say, oh, of course, the colonoscopy is a little bit more difficult because you have to take these solutions, you know, control your diet, you know, it's a little bit painful. But if your insurance company allowed you, if you are in that age, I think that's probably the best way.
Most of them would cover it because it's part of the screening, you know, and many studies have shown a benefit for colonoscopy and screening colon cancer. So it should be covered in most of the insurances.
Right, right.
By the way, you're not older, you're just wiser now. So
I think for the challenge for our teens, youth contestants is to maybe today or next time you see a family member to ask them whether they have gone to one and learn about the experience because it's kind of a mystery to me too, but it's good to know, right? Maybe your parents are not 50 yet, but maybe one of your family members. So then you learn something other than reading a book or a research paper, right? So great. And I forgot one question I had for Evan. So like I know like the pace was kind of fast in terms of the information and there's a humor in it and that was great. But I noticed the background music was a drastic contrast. Da, da, da. It was it on purpose?
So I mostly picked it because it was quite just chill, and it also gave the sense of bittersweetness, if you know what I mean. So
Okay, so I think yeah, I wasn't sure if in the beginning I was like, is it kind of not so in sync? Like in terms of the style of the music and your narration, you have a really good voice, and most of your presenters has a really good voice, like a DJ voice almost. But the music and the tone or the pace of your speaking was kind of not in sync. So that at first I thought maybe that's a critique, and then I thought maybe that's on purpose. Like, did you do it on purpose? But yeah, anyways, and thank you. And so I
Yeah.
think the Chan
Actually-
sisters. Oh, Evan, you can add. I'm sorry.
yeah, actually, there's one last thing. I believe Christy Cole asked a question about like the video editing tools. Just really quickly, I used DaVinci Resolve 16. It's like the free trial version, or not the free trial, just the free version. And then I also used like just the first two tools that pop up. Or actually, I also used the audio tool that helped cut out like background noise, but mostly cut and edit, I believe. All right.
Evan, can you please type your tools? I'm curious too. I want to learn something. Like maybe I will make a video sometime.
Sorry, you said type your what?
Your tools in the chat. So I guess the voice is a little distant. I couldn't hear it very clearly. If you can type, so we can all learn from it.
Great. And Chan sisters, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself and maybe we can show the posters that you created. Do you have your video available?
We made a slide.
Cool, you can start, and I think we're sharing the screen. Go when you're ready. Hi, so Jen, and Angie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you want to read it out loud or you prefer us just to read it?
I can read it.
Okay.
I'm Angie. I'm 15 years old. I live in North California. I choose this topic to inform people around my age and to stop and think of the consequences that will follow if they use an e-cigarette. I choose to use a poster because I like doing arts and crafts. I cut out different colors and designs of construction paper for the body and organs, and my sister cut out the letters of the title out of construction paper. She also made the 2019 over 5 million poster using Canva. I hope you enjoy my poster about the consequences of e-cigarette.
Hi, Angie. This is Ying. Do you want walk through us with your posters?
Angie, please unmute yourself.
So the purple one is about e-cigarettes, and then the one that has a pink box around it is the before and after effects of the e-cigarette, like how it affects your lungs. And then on the bottom with the body are all the side effects that e-cigarettes could cause. Yeah.
Hi, Angie and Jen. So maybe I can guide you through helping us to understand the beautiful posters. So how long have you guys spent on doing this posters in terms of the time?
I think like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Cool. Was it pretty recently?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm guessing you still remember the contents, right? Or you have it on hand?
Yeah.
And what is the most memorable things that stuck in your mind in terms of maybe the data or the types or the symptoms? Can you just say a few to us?
I think what was shocking for me was that there were so many people in high school and middle school that were using an e-cigarette.
That's shocking to me too, in middle school and high school. Cool. Okay. And so what other, if someone come up to you and say, do you know about e-cigarette? And you say, yeah, I did a research. And can you explain really briefly to them, to that person? Pretend I'm the one. I've never seen one. I've never heard about it. And how would you present? How would you let me know about what it's a e-cigarette?
When you suck on the mouthpiece, something will go into your lungs, and then they will like they would just make your lungs not good, I guess, and then which is dangerous because it can lead to a lot of like dizziness, like chest pain and all, and like stuff.
Yeah, so it's the after effect will affect kind of the internal organs and how you feel, right? But I'm curious, like maybe question to you or Angie, like if that's the case, why people do it? Why people suck on the e-cigarette?
Because it is addicting and then they just continuously want to use it.
So it's addicting because of the effect, or because of the favorite, or because it's cool? Like, what do you think is the biggest factor?
Maybe because there's nicotine in it, so it makes you addicted to it. And then people do it because they think it makes you look cool.
Good. Any additional things that you learned that you didn't put on the poster you want to tell us about?
No.
Okay, I think it's time to pass it to Dr. Liu and the judges for additional comments and questions.
Yeah, thanks, Angie and Jin. I think you did a good job. It's a very clear made poster with very good contrast, very easy to visualize with all the information. And also, I think your response to the Jessica's questions are nice and great. Great job. And one thing I particularly impressed is that your constructed paper, how you choose the paper, the design, and how you cut into the different shapes, the simulated organ, and you put it together. And I noticed that your symptoms was pointed out to the different organs. That's very artistic and nice and easy for people to see and understand. And you also have some statistic at the end. I know it's a different contribution from Jin, some from Angie. And I guess like through the work, you guys work as a team to pass the different tasks and to finish as together. And you also nicely give your links, your citations. That's very appreciated. And I think one thing, what did you learn the most? What's the most interesting thing you learned from making this poster? I know you pointed out it was surprising that so many students, middle school students, are addicted to this. And what's the most interesting thing you find by making this poster?
I guess all the side effects that it could cause, because I didn't know there was so many side effects.
Yeah, right. It's like all systems, right? All from the brain to the eyes. I saw in the respiratory system, with the nose, with the lungs, and with the digestive system, with the vomiting, nausea, and also with the skin change. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot of like systematic effect. Thank you, Angel and Jin. I guess I'll see other judges have additional questions or comments. Good job.
Thank you.
Hi, again here, Kalpana speaking. Yes, there is a lot of information, very useful data, but I suggest that you break down that one poster that you have into several different posters, each one giving one information, because it's hard to digest all of it in one slide, and it's also not very legible, at least for me. So I suggest in future, rather than putting in all the information in one slide, make it 3-4 slides so that one can grasp the idea, read through the details, and that will be very useful information, And all of the information you have gathered, really very useful, and you should share with maybe make it a point to have a poster displayed at your school so that students who are vaping may realize that what they are doing is really harming their bodies. They need to be educated for this. And all that effort that you have spent maybe can be utilized for the good of the students.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good job. But do break it down into multiple slides and not just put it in one, okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a very good job, and maybe because we are seeing it on the computer, so we think it is condensed, but maybe if you did the poster maybe like a bigger, it will be easy to the eye to see. Usually when you go to big meeting, when people present posters, you have like a very large area to display posters. So it's a very well done, lots of information, very nicely put in, very artistic, and looks like you are kind of the information complementary to the first video that we saw. Mostly you did very well presentation about the symptoms and signs of e-smoking. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, this is Christy. I thought you guys did a great job as well. I thought the poster was very visually appealing and easy to understand. And I definitely enjoyed the arts and crafts aesthetic of the poster as well. And then I thought you provided a lot of great information on what e-cigarettes are, side effects, besides just lung cancer, and then the severe damage that this product can cause to the lungs as well. So really great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any comments from other participants or Lynn?
I have a question. Okay, maybe it's a stupid question, but anyway, I just wondering where and how the young kids can get the e-cigarette. They can purchase through online store, or they can get it from some local store. Is there any regulation to prevent like a cigarette? People have to be older than 18 years old. But for e-cigarette, I don't know, is there any regulation?
Oh wait, can I answer that question? So there are regulations for teenagers getting a hold of e-cigarettes, but the thing is the teenagers will just like walk into the store and like say that they're the certain age that allows e-cigarettes. And there's not really a good way to find out if they are that certain age or not. So that's why a lot of teens vape. Technically it's illegal, but there's not really much that can be done in stopping them. The only thing we could do that will really significantly stop them from doing this is to like spread awareness like we're doing now. So.
I see, thank you.
ACS did, and I think is also doing a lot of advocacy work to try to, help in terms of young people vaping. So it's an ongoing effort, and we probably will talk about it in our youth conference. But I think I'm really impressed with the 5 million, that one. I think maybe we can make that picture more prominent on this poster because that has high impact. 5 million, so many children are vaping. It's really surprising. And, the color is really nice. I mean, from computer, probably won't appreciate how much work going to making these really beautiful pictures.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your comments. And I think, yeah, like it's important for us to do the productions and also at the same time get the takeaway and be an ambassador or advocate, so you not just finish this project, this contest, and then later not really be able to answer some questions. So I think all of you are doing really good job. And just echo what Ling said, I think the 5 million, like it could be a catch. It's just like how you guys are talk, maybe to write an essay or maybe do a video or do some kind of presentation. You can get a hook in the beginning, like, did you know? Sometimes a lot of the YouTube advertisement pops in. It was like, did you know this one food you ate can cause you this and that? And then people got interested and got hooked. And then later you explain the other things. So maybe you can do that in the beginning. Oh, did you know there are total in 2019, 5 million, something like that. And then later, of course, this is like just a two-dimensional posters, but when you incorporate into a contest, like a presentation, then you can do it that way. So my only suggestion for you to improve is to consider the live aspect of the presentation. So you prepare on the more of the Q&A and walking the audience through your visuals. And at that point, your poster, it's kind of secondary for your live presentation. Okay, so good job, everyone. And thank you for all the contestants who went earlier to hold on to the throughout the meetings and be an active participant. And also thank you for the other supporters. And I see. So now it's time for the judge to get together. And it's also a good time for you to take a short break. Go to bathrooms or something like that. And we're gonna show some sponsors image and advertisement to acknowledge their contributions. So so for now, the judges will convert and do kind of decide the final results. And again, you can take a short break, and in 5 minutes you can be back, but the judge might take longer, but depends. Like, feel free to come back and check in. Okay, and you can feel free to turn off your video and then turn it on later. Thank you.
炒一個青菜跟 leftover 就可以了。
What?
炒一個青菜跟 leftover 就可以了。
你们有没有肉呢？现在有3个蛋，
有 curry 是。
还有 curry，OK，
Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience while the judge are discussing and finalizing the results. And for this opportunity, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors and supporter. So first will be Miss Jennifer Chan from JYE Luxury Jewelry. They're local at Burlingame. And next, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Samuel Wu for supporting us at this event. Thank you again for our sponsors and supporters. And last but not least, and also our great supporters since many events, Two Friends Foundation. They also supported us last time for our family multi media contest. Thank you again for your generous support. And again, it's an honor to acknowledge Dr. Tin Ha, and she's been a longtime friend and mentor for me as well, and a longtime honorary volunteer in our California Chinese unit. Dr. Tin Ha, it's also a great sponsor for every time we have educational events for American Cancer Society. Thank you, Dr. Ha. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you don't mind, I invite you to come back on with video and we will share a few words with everyone. Thank you. And I think the judges are almost ready. Great. Thank you so much for your patience and your time on this valuable Saturday of yours. How's everyone's summer or the semester already started for you guys? Yeah, for my sister too, started last week. Yeah, and hope where you at, it's safe. Because of the fire, unfortunately, the air is kind of polluted. And some people had to cancel some of their outing. Fortunately for me and my sister, we went to camping trip to just the day before the lightnings. So I had a good time rejuvenating and connecting to the nature. So back to today's topic. So if you don't mind, can also unmute yourself while we have the final kind of decisions on announcement. I believe that whether you are given the rank or the awards, we hope that you enjoyed this experience and also learn something from the kind of just doing the project, and as well as today's live event from the doctors, the guests, and especially your peer. So if you would like to share a few words about just like what's one thing new that you learned today, that would be great. So I can start first. For me, I didn't know that many people smoke like vape. And also that's something new. And also, well, for the lymphoma, the different types of lymphoma, I didn't know either because there are so many different types of cancers. Because of personal experience, I might have some knowledge and insights about lung cancer or colon cancer, but there are so many other type of informations out there. So definitely it's really valuable for me. Who wants to go next?
I can. Well, first of all, I didn't know that like in terms of like the vape propaganda, I did not know that like their information was so like outrageously wrong. I thought it was like maybe off like a couple of like percentages, but I didn't know it was like that astronomically wrong of like information. So I think that was really helpful.
Yeah, other than all the knowledge of cancer I obviously learned from today's presentations, I also learned about like the different softwares you guys used. I found that really cool. So.
Yeah, something new that I learned was, well, I didn't know that much about colon cancer and how, usually there are no symptoms, and yeah, that was really important information in case you want to get screened.
One thing I learned was that doctors are able to, or like some doctors would say like would refuse screenings.
Yeah, I think it's complicated. Sometimes it's insurance policy, sometimes it's their evaluation. So maybe not like refuse, but if they have a parameter of like when they deem it appropriate to go through like some procedure. So it's kind of a lot involved. But I guess another thing is like for some procedure, because it's invasive, so sometimes doctors might feel like there's not enough evidence or kind of values in doing it, especially for younger folks. But like in terms of colon cancers, I think if you research on, just type in online, it's showing that recently a lot of younger populations been getting them because of the like sleeping, diet, and other like stress. That's really high correlation too. So yeah.
I think the patients should advocate for themselves, you know, like your friend's situation. If there's family history, if one doctor refused to grant screening, I suggest you should go to another doctor, because I did hear some cases, young people having severe colon cancers because, you know, the doctor didn't really help, you know, when it should.
Yeah,
so
I
you
think
might
so.
just let it go.
Yeah, the tricky part is that you guys mentioned no symptoms. So sometimes like, how can you get that screening if you don't have symptoms? But if you have symptoms, that's kind of too late, right?
Just said American Cancer Society, cancer.org, it says very often there's no symptom. So no symptom is not a reason for not screening, you know. It's,
yeah.
I mean, data is everywhere.
See, thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, hi, this is Jennifer Chen. I'm one of the sponsors. I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to join your conference. This is very resourceful and very meaningful. Especially I found the vapor informations. This is amazing. I'm really glad that I can be part of the conference.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jennifer Chen. It's really a group effort and also your generous support that make this event possible. Thank you again for our sponsors. Dr.
Oh,
La,
you're welcome.
yeah, Dr. La, Dr. Wu, and Two Friends Foundation, and also Jennifer, Miss Jennifer. Okay, I think I can see our judges already. Dr. Liu, let me pass the mic to you.
Okay, thank you. It's nice to coming back to the main room. Yeah, so excited. So I think it's all the teams are doing a really good job, as it's already been commented by the judges and the audience. So it's a very hard decision to rank who is first, who is second, who is third. But since it's a competition, we'll have winners, right? And but the bottom line is everybody will be happy. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank all the judges for their time, their work, and we are also at the same time trying our new software. So next meeting, hopefully to get even better with our new software that our youth volunteer, Bryant, has developed. So big shout to Bryant and all the other youth volunteers. We have a strong technical group. So in terms of the winners, we decided we'll have first prize, second prize, and third prize. And we'll also have some very special mentions teams. So our third prize, co-third prize, goes to Team Chen Sisters. You got third prize, congratulations. So the judges we collectively think your poster, even though you use kind of the other teams are all using the video form, that more fancy technique. You're using the poster, but still you created a poster very easy to follow with very good information, scientific support. So you are the third prize, congratulations.
Thank
you.
Sure.
And we'll do maybe a clap together, like for the team after each team announcement. Clap for Team Chen Sister.
I'm very sorry. I just need to leave the meeting. Congratulations to all the winners. It was a great experience. I hope to be invited for next year meeting and keep all the good work, all of you.
Dr.
Now
Risha.
it's the father
Thank
duty
you.
for my 2 toddlers now. So
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Support
you.
from El Camino Hospital. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and our second, another third prize, co-third prize, goes to Team MMMM. So your creativity in the cancer man role, and so the overall information, even though with such a short video, you still did it with a good amount of scientific information. That was impressive. And that's why it ranked you to the 3rd place. Congratulations, Team M. And yeah, second prize goes to Team Zhang siblings. Second prize, congratulations. Your lymphoma work was very scientific. Actually, some judges mentioned that they rank your work. They gave your scientific part the highest score among all the teams. So congratulations, second prize, Team Zhang Sips.
Thank you.
Our first prize, so it's everybody kind of agree. The first prize goes to Go Scott 62640. Oh, I'm curious, why do you have the number? What does the number has a special meaning?
Oh yeah, so we're just one of the registered Girl Scout troops. So the Girl Scout company just gives us the number.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So you not only like your work were well supported by your effort in scientific research and your nice layout of your videos. And then also I think the judges mentioned that your work also encouraged everybody to work as a group. So you work as a group so everybody can, I'm sure like there are a lot of data, a lot of research effort in your video. So it's collective work needs to be acknowledged. So congratulations, first prize. Go Squad.
Thank you.
Sure. And we also have very special mention for like Andrew Kong for your scientific view of your video. So it's nicely information with all your data and the artwork. And we also want to see next year you're coming back with more like, for instance, the therapy part with more updated information, more research. But definitely your scientific view of your video is well appreciated with all the judges. Thank you and congratulations. So another honorable mention for Jensen Lee for your very beautiful video and your video making technique. The beautiful, thanks for taking us with all the beautiful sceneries with your drone. And so we decided to give you an honorable artistic will prize. Thank you, Jensen. So I guess that's conclude our announcement of our placement. I can hand over the mic back to Jessica. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu and all the judges. And I know a few of the judges had to go because of the meetings and call. And most of all is for our chair, Dr. Ying Liu, to organize and also communicate with all the different components of this event. So a round of applause for Dr. Liu, please. Cool. And so last but not least, I would give it to Ling to say a few words and we'll take a good picture together. Hang on for another 2-3 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. Another very successful event and fantastic work. And so I hope with all the comments, you understand how valuable your work is and how much potential you have. So as I mentioned in my earlier comment, I feel, I was inspired. So we are going to do a September 26th, a youth conference on childhood cancer and vaping. And also we're going to try to start a youth ambassador program. So tomorrow afternoon, I have a Zoom meeting with all the volunteers to go over the planning and about the unveiling of the program, and I will ask for your input. And the youth conference, I'm hoping it's planned by the youth and for the youth, and appreciate inviting also adults attend, so we can use all the volunteers we can have. So I will also ask Joanna to send out invitation to all the participants of this event. If you are interested, please join us, join either the planning of the youth conference and or also the youth ambassador program. And if you spend too much time today, tomorrow you don't have time, that's okay. I think we're going to have weekly meeting before the conference. So, most probably every Sunday after 2 p.m. So I hope you are inspired and you will join us in these two endeavors. And I hope it's going to grow and mushroom into wonderful things for the community, for the whole world. So thank you again for your support and participation. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Ling. Thank you, Edward. And I think that's a really good call to action from today's event, and because that will actually propel you guys and motivate you to get more involved and definitely help on college application, I think.
Yes.
So and finally, really also want to invite Dr. K to say a few words, and thank you so much for taking time from your day to join us and your valuable feedbacks.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Even as a scientist, it was educational. And I'm very, very impressed with all the hard work the students have put in. And even I think back for myself at the 8th grade, I don't think I would have compared by any means, not just by technology, but the scientific knowledge and, how much research and they have put in there. I encourage students to work as a group, which really not only enjoyable, but it helps learning as a group than by doing it by yourself, And wish you all very good luck and more progress, and wait to hear from you and learn more next year and expand on what you have been working on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I think, yeah, for me too, I'm just so impressed with everyone, like your demeanors and the maturity of your execution and presentation skills, really valuable for me to learn. And anyone want to chime in and say a few words? We'll turn on the video and take a picture together. Okay, and our volunteer, thank you so much, Brian Huang, for being our behind the scene mastermind for our technology support, and also Joanna for doing all the planning, coordinating everything, pulling all the strings together and giving me the opportunity. Okay, everyone, picture time. You ready? Screenshot.
3, 2, 1.
Yay. Anyone, last call, turn on your video. If not, that's fine. Another one, just in case that one, someone's playing or something. Okay.
Someone wants a second picture.
Give me a second. Let me load up that one. Okay, and I need to pull this one up.
Okay.
All right. 3.
Ryan,
2.
how do you send that to us?
I'll probably give it to Joanna, and she can post it in the line chat. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Move around and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Joanna.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
everyone. Everyone, take
Thank you,
care.
all the judges.
Thank
Thank you, all the participants.
Bye.
Bye.
healthy.
Bye.
Nice. 结束了。
Why can you start the YouTube, please? Thank you.